All right, we're going to continue our series here talking about the Fire Academy, just going through South Metro Fire Rescue's videos that they have uploaded on their YouTube channel here. So if you haven't subscribed or even viewed South Metro Fire Rescue's YouTube channel, I highly recommend you do it. They have a lot of great resources on here that can really help aid you in, giving you the knowledge and giving you a first inside look to, what to expect within the fire service and at many different levels, not just a firefighter recruit or a probationary firefighter level, but they also have like captains, engineers, what's dispatch like, just a bunch of different videos that can really shed light on, the ins and outs of, being within the fire service. So we're going to go through this. It's going to be week 2 in the Fire Academy and just going to give my testimony and react off of kind of what their Fire Academy is like.
1, 2, 3, 3.
Welcome to week number 2 of the South Metro Recruit Training Academy Class 19-1. Thank you so much to all of you who checked in and looked at last week's video of week number 1. We have got some hard workers out here, and we're out on the drill ground today. It is Tuesday, and this week is all about SCBA. So those are the air packs that the firefighters wear on their back. They're learning about how to maneuver through really tight spaces, how to help each other out. They're gonna have these blindfolds on so that they can't really see anything, and they're gonna have to work together as a team in order to get out of certain situations. So the first thing I wanted to show you guys to start off this week is there is a flag at the top of the drill ground tower, and it's specifically for this academy. It's going to be flying for the entire time that they are training and going through all of their hard work. So let's take a little hop upstairs.
Okay, really quick. Obviously in this video that she's talking about the fire recruits utilizing their SCBA and maneuvering through tight, small spaces and just getting familiar with their stuff. Really pay attention to this video because this is a lot of stuff that you're going to be doing on a daily basis when you get into the Fire Academy. And this stuff is super important when you get into the field because that day one familiarization with your own, PPE and your SCBA is going to be vital, especially if you get into, an unforeseen hazardous situation where, say you're in, you're knocking down a fire at a house and, structural collapse happens or something and you're stuck or you get separated from your crew. You got to go back to your day one roots in the Fire Academy. I just really want to drive this home that like these videos, especially this one in particular, is going to be super important to the safety factor and just setting that foundation for yourself and being familiar with your equipment. So it's second nature. So just in case something does happen down the line, you can, go back to those roots and be familiar with your stuff and be comfortable in handling and mitigating those situations so you can, get to egress or exit, a hazardous situation safely.
What I love about being up here is you can see all the different training materials that we use here on the drill ground, and not only for the academy, our crews come out here and they make sure they are up to date on all of their different trainings so they can come and use all of these as well. But what I wanted to show you is this flag will be flying up here throughout the entire academy.
And obviously that flag, as she said, is pertinent to this specific Fire Academy. Now for you, and depending on the department you work for, your recruit class is going to have their own, significant logo and saying that's kind of symbolizes your particular Fire Academy and just that recruit class in general. So just know that that flag in this particular Fire Academy is extremely important, and there's a lot of pride that goes behind that. So whenever you get into yours, be very diligent about, showing great respect for it and being prideful and truly putting everything you can and that you have into your Fire Academy.
All right, so we're gonna go through this confined space tube. This is a part of the training this week. Instructor Slot is here, and he's gonna explain everything in a moment, but this part, is it pretty difficult to do with your SCBA on?
Yeah, so about a foot wider than you normally are with your SCBA on. This tube is to gain them some confidence. It's about twice the size of our smallest portion of this maze. So if they get through this a few times, they feel pretty good. Then they get in the maze and they're gonna go through an even smaller portion. But they can't see it, so they're not gonna be able to psych themselves out too much.
All right, so I'm gonna try to go through. Here we go. It's a little dirty in here, but that's okay. All right, and this is a lot easier for me because I'm not actually wearing one of the SCBA packs right now. Okay, making our way through. Okay, yeah, we made it.
Okay, real quick, I don't want to be stopping it so much, but Hassie was talking about gaining confidence. So just know that as you go through the fire academy, everything's kind of built off of, day one stuff. So you're gradually going to, progress into more difficult tasks, and it's all instilled and developed and programmed that way. So you do build that confidence over time. So you bring everything together kind of when you get through the end of the academy and throughout your career. Now, if you're coming into the fire academy and you have issues with, being claustrophobic or afraid of heights or whatever, just like I said in previous videos, make sure you do a great job of working on that stuff now. Because if you can't, get within these tight spaces and function with your SCBA on, or, climb ladders, or get on a roof to, cut holes and ventilate, that's going to be a problem. You're not going to be successful throughout this career, and especially throughout the fire academy. So really understand if you have those problems, and deal with them. Try to, overcome those, and find, go online, find some resources available that can help you, overcome those obstacles so you can be successful throughout your fire academy and throughout your fire career.
There we go. And I'm a little dusty, that's okay.
Right now they're getting used to being in SCBAs and doing search and rescue activities. So over here is our maze and all of our props for getting them used to being in air packs. So out here we have entanglement props, confined space props, and a studded wall prop. Inside the trailer is a maze with hundreds of feet of hose and multiple different paths that they can take. We preface with them that if they're in a situation like that, it's an emergency and they're on their way out. We have a hose line, they follow the hose line opposite of the nozzle, and they have to try to find their way out. Take a knee. Breathe. Come forward. Get your feet out. Get out of the building.
Get out of the building.
On the coupling.
Okay. What is it?
Pop, pop.
In there, it's very tight, it's dark, they're blacked out. They have a mask on their face. They gotta follow a hose line or a rope through there. And there's multiple levels in there. There's different sorts of props for collapse, ropes everywhere, so it gets pretty difficult.
And I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of difficult to see here, but this is obviously a hose line, and here goes the couplings here. And what I quickly want to touch on is, he was talking about there's a bunch of different obstacles within their course. So obviously there's, entanglement stuff that simulate, wires like in a house, like electrical things, structural collapse stuff. Maybe you have to get through some door props, just a bunch of different things. And one thing they were talking about is, utilizing your hose line for egress. So what they taught us in the fire academy is, obviously you stay on your hose line, you feel it. As you can see, he's feeling it with his glove hand here. Obviously dexterity is not as great with our fire gloves on, but you can feel your hose line, and as you're crawling your way through, you get to this part to where it's smooth. So what they taught us is it's smooth, bump, meaning you see these little notches in the coupling here. That shows us that we're going the right way. So if it's smooth, bump, and then if there's another, length of hose connected to this, it'll be bump. So it'll be two bumps. And what they taught us is it's smooth, bump to pump. So that shows us like smooth, bump to pump. I'm going the right way. So I'm getting to our engine. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Don't overthink it. You're going to have a lot of training, and they're going to take you through all this stuff, whether you go through a college, fire academy, or you go through an actual, career department academy. They're going to teach you all this stuff, but I just wanted to quickly show you this.
You're done. There you go. Come on, you almost there? Yeah! Turn your hips. There we go.
They're
pretty new at this. This is only their second week in the academy, so we're kind of pushing them real hard to get things moving in the right way. The air pack's a really important piece of their gear, and they need to be a master of it by the time they graduate. In low visibility situations, or when they come down across a down firefighter, they need to know what different pieces of the air pack or their gear feel like, so they can orient themselves to rescue the firefighter. You're going to go down by the propane tank, and your other cohorts are going to rearrange your packs a little bit. So here's the boundaries, guys. Hold on. So here to the top of the hill.
Oh man.
I found a pack. You want to follow my voice? I'm over here. Downhill. You pack it. Downhill. That's you. Okay, you tell me.
Yeah, I'm right here. I got 2 packs. They're super tangled.
Got a regulator?
Alright, I got one.
I have another pack here.
Yeah, get it. Find it.
Hey, it's Isaiah.
Down here. What do we got?
I have 3 packs, 2 regulators left, and 5 bottles.
Okay.
All of the regulators. Yeah. We have all of the bottles. There you go. Regulator. Come on. All right, you guys good?
Right here. Just not put in. We need to put money further in.
And those two did a really good job of going.
That may have looked silly for a lot of people out there that, you know, don't really know about the Fire Academy and kind of what goes on inside, but like there's a lot of great things that they covered there. One of the biggest things, which is one of the biggest problems in the fire service, is communication. So as you can see, the recruits, as they were crawling around, you know, they're blinded, they're crawling around feeling for things, they're communicating what they come across. So not only themselves know what's going on, but the rest of their, you know, their crew knows exactly what's going on. So in the fire service, communication is definitely one of the bigger problematic things, because obviously we use portable radios. If you're not properly trained and you're not utilizing communication well, no one knows kind of what's going on within your particular sector, you know, on the fire ground, just a whole bunch of different things. So it's great that they're utilizing this portion of the Fire Academy to really hone in and teach their fire recruits that, hey, communication is everything. Make sure you communicate and let, you know, not only yourself but the rest of your crew, and especially like your supervisors, know what's going on. And also, just like I told you, with, you know, becoming familiar with your PPE and your SCBA. So obviously, you know, they're going to have some practice beforehand, so they know kind of where things are, their straps, their regulators, their pass device, all those different things. So as everything's separated, they have to go back to what they remembered when they first, you know, saw their SCBA and, you know, their packs and all that stuff. So they know how to reconnect it, what straps go where, and all those different things. It seems monotonous, but like this is so important, because when things hit the fan, I'm telling you, you got to resort back to kind of day one stuff, when things were almost easier in a sense in regards of, you know, how technical the fire service can be as in skills. So it's extremely powerful that they're doing this with their recruits, and I'm sure whatever fire academy that you go through, you're going to have something similar to this in regards in your training.
Down methodically, they went all the way back down, went all the way down, and they finally caught that path. It'd been easier if they would have went this way, they would have caught it, like, but it was 2 of them, and they searched the entire area
Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, 5:45 a.m. You can see it's still a little bit dark outside, but I wanted to come to one morning of PT this week to give you guys an idea of what the recruits are doing outside of the normal daytime hours. So we're gonna go inside because today is the first day they're jumping in the pool.
Ready? Begin.
1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 1, 2, 3, 8, 1, 2, 3, 9, 1, 2, 3, 10.
Ready? Begin.
1, 2, 3, A. 1, 2, 3, B. 1, 2, 3, C. 1, 2, 3, B. 1, 2, 3, C.
So I'm Chris Sheckler. I'm one of the.
So one important point I want to bring up here is, remember in the first video when I told you not all fire academies are going to be actually structured and conducted the exact same. For my particular fire department, we didn't have this swimming part of the academy. We didn't have a pool that we were actually training in and all those things. Obviously, this department does, and there's going to be other departments out there that do utilize this sort of structure. I know for me in particular, this probably would have been one of the hardest parts. I'm a good swimmer. I'm not a great swimmer, so this definitely would have been a challenge for me. But it's cool to see that they actually utilizing a pool and going through that sort of training style within their fire academy. So if do your research ahead of time, like I always teach you guys, is know what you're getting yourself into. So if you're tested for Department A, make sure you research ahead of time and see what their fire academy is like, so you can start training and preparing for these style events or skills that you're going to have to, partake in within that fire academy.
Strength and conditioning coaches with South Metro Fire Rescue. We have our other two strength and conditioning coaches. This morning we're doing our swim PT day. Once a week we do PT that orients around the pool. We're not trying to turn our firefighters into Olympic swimmers. We're just adding a little bit of variance to their PT. And honestly, the swim day is mostly for the mental aspect. Really what we want to accomplish out of this PT session is just getting them comfortable being uncomfortable. A lot of them have some swim experience, but they're not good at it, and that's okay. So we get them in the pool, we pull them out of the pool. They're wet, they're a little bit of cold, we make them focus, we make them get things done correctly. That adds a little bit of physical stress, the physical stress of being tired, the physical stress of being cold. It's just being uncomfortable, and our main goal is to get them to focus and dial in. Even when they're uncomfortable, it's not an excuse to not do things right. We're building a team atmosphere. This is a 23-person team. They have to do things correctly. They have to operate as a team. Usually at the start of the morning, everybody's tight, buttoned up, real good to go. As they get wet, as they get cold, as they go get wet again, as they come out, get cold, get tired, we start to see that mental focus slip. So we have to, and they're very good at policing themselves. If they don't do it right, they do it over. So they know the consequence of not doing something right. They're going to do it over. So it's better to do it once right than 5 times wrong. Next week we'll do quite a bit more pool work, get them in and actually teach them the fundamentals of swimming. But we'll still do the various bodyweight calisthenics just to help them keep their focus. Dunking them in and out of the pool just helps keep them dialed in.
So 2 things. So if you're, an athlete in your past, whether it's high school, college ball, pro ball, whatever the case is, this isn't going to be too far off from you in regards of the team atmosphere. When we go out and practice, if someone was messing up, that individual wasn't the only one that got punished or had to run. The whole team had to run. So it's like, we're only as good as our weakest link, and it carries over into the fire service. It's the exact same thing. So, one individual isn't, holding up their end, the whole team gets affected. So I'm glad to see that he brought that up within this video. Another great point that he brought up was the word uncomfortable. And he did a really great job explaining the importance of training them within that state. I know for me in particular, when I was working with my student athletes and I was working with, my personal training clients, that was one thing that I taught them is whenever I'm developing your programs and I'm training you, trying to get you to that point to where you're constantly training uncomfortable, obviously in a safe manner, but I'm trying to get you to push your limits, your emotional, mental, your physical limits in a progressive overload manner. That way, whenever you do go to perform or you're going out to play in your sporting event, or in this particular instance, you're going out into the field and it's live and it's real, you're going to meet that uncomfortable state in your comfort state right there in the middle. That way you're getting better. So it's extremely important that you truly understand what he's saying in regards of, being uncomfortable, training uncomfortable, because it's only going to make you better. Now, he was talking about how coming in at the beginning of the day, everyone's buttoned up tight, full of life, full of energy. When it comes to that uncomfortable state, whenever people get put in the dirt, or they're mentally beat down, emotionally beat down, or physically beat down and tired, you can quickly see somebody's character. I mean, it's very easy to judge. So you can see what type of teammate they're going to be, and see if you can rely on them. Are they going to be someone that's going to bring the team down, or lash out, or just be negative when they are tired or mentally beat? So it's great that he brought up this point.
3, down, up, 4, down, up, 5, down, up, 6, right.
Overall, that was a great video. It threw out a lot of different aspects of the atmosphere and the culture within the Fire Academy, and I think they did a really great job of kind of shedding some light on kind of what to expect within going through your Fire Academy. So make sure that you subscribe to South Metro Fire Rescue. They have a lot of great resources. I'm telling you, don't sleep on utilizing these resources. I mean, I didn't personally have something like this available for me, or at least I didn't find it when I was going through the process, but I wish I had something like this, because it would have gave me a lot more insight as to what's expected of me and kind of what lies ahead. But we're going to continue this series. They have a great, Fire Academy series that we're going to keep reacting off of and kind of give my testimony. And then we're going to just continue this series and help prepare you guys for your future Fire Academies. But like I always tell you, work hard, stay consistent, and I'll catch you on the next one. Good luck, future firefighter.